Alright guys, so today we are here in the southwest of the Las Vegas Valley with a company called Alternative Living Spaces. We're going to meet up with the owner, Tony Lopez, and what alternative living is basically container life living, small tiny homes. This company was actually featured on HGTV, so let's go check it out. All right, so here's the thing. I already did the introduction, obviously, but again, this is Tony Lopez, the owner of Alternative Living Spaces, right?
Hey, pleasure to be on. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. So, kind of explain to the viewers, what is your company all about?
Yeah, so we specialize in really container construction. So we really focus on small housing. So we do 20-foot, 40-foot shipping container conversions. And that's what we've been doing for about 6 years now.
Okay. What made you even get into this space?
Yeah, so, man, this goes back to 2016. At the time, I was working at my home church doing ministry, which I went to school for. That's my degrees in and all that.
Okay.
And have always loved business and have always loved architecture. And just kind of got bit with the business bug, man. I was always trying to think, what's a business that I can make, a problem that I can solve, that kind of thing. And I like when people say, like, you know, what's something that bothers you or that you hate or that, you know, something that frustrates you. And for me, it was the housing prices. Okay. Which back then felt like a lot, which now is crazy.
It's even crazier.
And just thought, man, there had to be a better option. Like, there's got to be an alternative to the way housing currently is. And just stumbled into containers from there.
I love how you threw that in, alternative.
Oh yeah, right? I know, I just use it naturally now.
So where are we at right now? This is like more of like an industrial area of the Southwest, right?
Yeah, so it's an industrial part of town. It's technically kind of like the Enterprise, I think is the actual name for where we're at. It used to be the Arden, which was an old town. Okay. Now it's all industrial area, so we have our facility here. We used to do warehouse space, but cost per square foot was just a lot, and everything we're doing is pretty big, so it kind of made sense for us to go outdoors.
Can you show us around? And show us what's
absolutely.
Going on?
I'll show you. I'll give you a little tour. Okay. This is just our little office space. It's out of which was originally an office container, a ground level office. We picked it up for, I think, $600, and then we just retrofitted the inside to use it as our own little office space. So I'll pop you through here. I'll show you a few different projects we have going on. We're getting into more of like the RV rental space. Okay. So we have a Dodge ProMaster that we converted, which is a camper van. And then we're about to convert this vintage, it's called a Scamp from 1976. And we're about to convert this Shuttle Bus. It's in the process right now. And then got a couple container projects I can show you. Okay, that'd be great. This first one, now there's different types of containers that we use. Okay. This is definitely a used container. So a lot of dings, dents, there was a lot of rust on it. We got it for a good price, but you know, then it requires a lot of TLC to get it up to speed.
But does that matter if there's a lot of dings and dents? Because you're going to get that kind of stuff though, right?
It's not a big deal, you're right. At the end of the day, it's just surface level, so we grind the rust right off, apply a primer to it, and then the finished paint, and you're in good shape.
Now, as far as like...
Oh, no, you're good. You're right. Oh, yeah, my bad. Yep, we'd like to do a little inside peek. Okay. Thanks, Angel.
Now, on the exterior here, do you guys use like certain type of paint? Because I know like weather, you know, could play a factor. Yeah, you're right. Start to rust this and etch it. I mean, how does that work?
So we use this like an alkyd enamel paint, which is really good for like industrial purposes. It's a Sherwin-Williams product. It's called Pro Industrial, and it works out great for this. There's also like marine grade paints you can use, or direct to metal paints, things like that. So. And
as far as like option colors, do I have an option on that?
Oh yeah, you can go any color.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what, a 20-foot container?
This is. Yeah, it's a 20-foot. It's a standard height container, so it's 8'6" high. Okay. They do make high cubes. The other one we'll show you is a high cube one trip. So it's basically like really good condition, no dents, and it's a foot taller. Okay. And where do I get a container like this, or where do you guys get it at? Yeah, so we get them out of Long Beach. Okay. So you can really get them anywhere. A lot of people import them here to Vegas, but Port of Long Beach has been where we've got. Yeah, because I've Googled like on Craigslist. I see some of these 40-foot containers. You can buy them like for $5,000. Yeah, you're right. So is that where you mostly get them, like Long Beach or just some shipping yards? And I guess, why would they even get rid of it if it's still in good condition where they're going to use it? Yeah, that's a good point. So, so typically the biggest to us is Long Beach, you know, so that's where you're going to get the best pricing if you can get them directly from the port.
Okay.
Most people that are selling them in Vegas, they got them from Long Beach.
Oh, and
they're going to mark them up a little bit more probably and then sell them. And then in terms of why they are open to selling them, there's a couple different reasons. One option is they're no longer cargo worthy, which basically means they can't use it for shipping anymore. It's just been maybe they used it for about 8 years. Like this one is a good example of one that's been around the block. Eventually they just retire them and then they'll just sell them to the public. But then there's also one-trip containers, which you're able to purchase. It's just a little bit more of a premium. So like a price point on this right now might be say $2,600 out of Long Beach. Whereas if you're trying to get a one-tripper, you're probably closer to $5,000. Somewhere in that range.
So if I wanted to purchase something like this, would it be better for me to purchase it on my own or just go directly to you guys? Or do you have customers that will purchase this and ship them over here for you guys to retrofit it?
Yeah, we can really do either version.
Okay.
Yeah, either one can work with us. Yeah.
Can we go inside to look at this?
Let's show you this one. So this one we just finished doing the prepping all the drywall.
Okay.
So he's about to start interior paint on this.
Oh, perfect. So it's perfect time.
Yeah, so it's good timing to kind of take a look. So this is it's really going to be it's a smaller tiny home kind of space.
Okay. So
inside this unit, she's going to have her kitchen right here. So there'll be fridge, microwave, countertop, stovetop, sink, kitchen window. Opposite end, she's going to have basically a bar top right here.
Nice.
So it'll be a bar top she can sit and eat at, work on work stuff. Then over here will be TV it's reversed. TV's on this side.
Okay.
The main entry, it's a French door, all glass French door. And then on this end will be a sofa Murphy bed. So you can fold down at night for sleeping space. And then during the day, sofa, you can kind of hang out.
It seems like you really got to utilize the space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's only 160 square feet. And the goal is actually like someone would be able to live in this space full time. So we need anything that's in a regular kind of home, just condense into a tiny space.
So how wide are these walls total?
Yeah, so
without the walls here?
Yeah, so containers are 8 feet wide. Once they're finished out like this is with 2x4 framing and insulation. You end up with 7 feet on the interior.
7 feet, okay.
Yeah.
Now, these are all like 120. Like, how does that work with the outlets and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, everything in this is 120. Sometimes we need 220, but it's rare. You know, it'd be if you're doing like say an oven or you want maybe an on-demand hot water heater, but other than that, 120 works.
Now, I noticed this doesn't really have too many windows. You only have one. But
You're right.
Do I have an option?
So this is really a reflection of like a very base model.
Okay.
The next tier up, we do a triple window right here, which we have a finished unit. We'll show you guys of that model. And then there's also upgrade options. We do garage doors. So if you want like an all glass garage door here, just for a nice cool feel, allow a lot of natural light in. You can kind of get really creative with windows.
I noticed that on your pricing sheet you had like all these options and upgrades, like a package appliances and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of windows. I think if you're going to do a tiny home, there's such a small space, you really do need a lot of natural light, and it opens it up. So I like having a lot of windows.
So who's the majority of your customers?
I'd say primarily people that are doing it with Airbnb. So they're purchasing them, putting them more in like rural, mountainy, or desert properties, renting them out. And then also we'll work with a lot of people that they have a main home on a property and they just want some additional living space. They'll put it in their backyard and allow
Now, I noticed the heat is kind of a little hot in here, so this tells me it's insulated.
Yeah.
What are you insulating with?
So it depends. We have a couple different versions. Most common with containers is spray foam insulation.
Okay.
So closed cell spray foam, usually like 2 to 3 inch depth.
So it's nice and tight.
Yeah. And you'll notice in the other one, I have the AC run. You'll notice it really gets really cool.
And what about the ceilings as well?
Yeah. So similar package. It depends on location as well. But base package is going to be 3 inches of closed cell spray foam.
Got it. Can we go take a look at the other one?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool.
Let's check it out.
So you were saying this is the bus that you guys are retrofitting.
That's right.
And this is something that you guys are now doing. How come you guys are transitioning into doing this versus just focusing on this?
That's a great question. So the biggest barrier with containers is where can you put them?
Yeah.
So laws are starting to loosen up more. There's new laws in Vegas, things like that. But for the most part, it's not simple to just like grab a container, build it out, and put it on your property. So because of that, most of the clients we work with are in rural areas. And for us, we want to get more involved on the rental side, just some more passive income. So we started to build out RV models that we can rent here locally in Vegas. Vegas has like the #2 market for RV rentals for vacationing.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a really good niche. We just did a Dodge ProMaster camper van, and it's been fantastic. I mean, it rents out about 20 plus days a month. at $300 a night. So it really is a great source of income. And competition in Vegas is currently low, which is cool. So we're playing around with the vintage trailer, the shuttle bus, just trying different things. So this one is going to be good for 4 people. So basically, got your shower space here. It'll also be functioning as a toilet space. So there'll be a toilet in there. A little kitchen set up with the fridge. There'll be a stove. This will be the main sleeping area back here. Underneath is like your solar, your water, all of that, sewage. And then this pulls out. I don't know if it's set up at the moment. Basically, these will slide out. The table drops, and then the cushions fold. So this is another sleeping area as well.
So these solars, what happens is the sun hits the solar panels and it gets recharged through here, or is this where it holds its charge?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there'll be, I think on this one there's 4 solar panels that'll be up there.
Yeah.
And then basically it'll all run down here into that large battery.
Okay. And it looks like you have some water. You have a hot water heater too as well.
Yeah. So the water pump, water tank, water heater. It's all powered from the solar, so it's all off grid.
Wow. You what's crazy about this? It feels like it's pretty large.
I know, it really does.
And this space is very functional. It's unbelievable.
I was surprised building this out because it's almost the same size as a 20-foot container.
Yeah.
It's way easier to build out.
Is it really?
It really is.
Okay.
And it has naturally 15 windows or whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of natural light. It feels pretty open.
I think that's what it is. It's the windows that really bring in a lot of light. I like this. Okay.
Yeah, a little different. This one's 100% off-grid as well. So it's got 2,500 watts of solar up top. In the back is all kind of like the solar equipment I'll show you.
Okay.
This one's going to northern Arizona. It'll be an Airbnb rental.
So it seems like, how do you combat with the county? Because like you said, you can't just take one of these and put it in your backyard because the county won't allow it, or a lot of these HOAs. So a lot of people that are actually buying this is basically guys that are living off the grid.
A lot of times. You're right. It's usually areas that, you're right, it's more off the beaten path kind of like locations where regulation's really low, and they're open to this kind of structure.
So basically what it sounds like, majority of this product here is pretty much all off the grid. I mean, can you literally connect it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So what we've done to kind of get around a lot of the building regulations is the on-wheels options.
Okay.
So if it's on wheels, it's classified as an RV, which means it can go anywhere an RV can go.
Okay.
And then we set up all the utility connections just like an RV. So you would basically just connect to your on-site water, sewer, power, and then you're good to go.
Now, what would be the difference of me building something like this versus, you know, getting a trailer and just building a tiny home from a trailer?
Yeah, so very similar in terms of like how the city's going to view it and things like that. At the end of the day, it's just going to be probably more personal preference.
Okay.
I'd say some of the advantages of using a container, I'd say here's the pros and cons. Tiny homes are better if you're trying to tow it around regularly.
Yes.
These weigh way too much to tow around regularly. You want to kind of just, if you're going to go the container route, it's somewhere you're going to keep it long term. I would say the benefits of container, it's going to be durability, especially like almost natural disaster proof. Solid steel box, fire resistant, hurricane resistant, all of that. And then I think just longevity, they're going to last a very long time.
Yeah, I think what I like about this is like if you're actually like literally off the grid, let's say you buy some land, you got a nice view, you leave, you could lock this thing up.
Yeah.
How's somebody going to break in? You literally got to bring tools, and it would take you days. So
absolutely.
I would have to agree with that. But here's the thing, you're going to have to live off the grid.
Yep.
So now, when we talk about living off the grid, we got the power. Obviously, we need to bring in some water. You would have to fill in your water. But what about sewage and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So where does all that go?
Yeah. So sewage, you usually think about it as there's gray water, black water, right? So for your toilet, sewage is usually a little bit more difficult, right?
Yeah.
So we'll usually recommend using a composting toilet or a dry flush toilet. So this unit's set up with a dry flush toilet. The other option is you could set up a septic tank on site that you end up running into. And then for gray water from like your sink and your shower, we have, which I can show you, a little portable gray water tank that this will actually connect to on site, and then they'll dump that off site.
Cool. Let's take a look in here.
Sure.
Wow, look at this.
So yeah, so it's got the container doors right over the sliding glass.
Opens,
yeah, I'll open it up too, just for the sake of showing you guys. So like you mentioned, when you leave, you can go ahead and lock everything up, and for the most part, it'd be really secure. So we do a few different door entries. This was just a simple little sliding door. And then this
is pretty much the same one as the other one. Okay.
Exactly the same. It's just kind of that next level up. So that's basically our base model. This is what we call Deluxe.
Okay.
Just kind of level up.
What was the difference between the base model and the Deluxe?
Biggest difference on this one is just the additional windows and the upgrade from drywall to shiplap. Okay. Everything else is about the same, and the only other difference would be this one has a solar setup up top, and that'll have a rooftop deck up top.
Okay.
So
now, are these actually stackable? Could you stack?
It's a good question. I'd say practically the answer is definitely yes.
Yeah.
But when it comes to codes and regulations, the answer is still yes. You just have to do a lot of engineering to prove that it's structurally sound. Yeah.
This looks so much more open with this window.
Yeah.
So technically a Murphy bed would probably go right here,
That's right.
You were saying?
Yeah, so TV, yep, sofa Murphy bed. This one will have a washer dryer stackable here. On this side, they'll do the fridge, and then they'll do their countertop, a little collapsible butcher block countertop.
Now, as far as options, is it endless options that you guys have?
You know what, we try to do, so it's interesting. Our business model early on was everything was custom. So now we've shifted from that just to make it more cost effective, so we have standard options. And we've tried to have just a pretty comprehensive list of like upgrade options you can select.
Yeah.
So you can definitely get really creative with
I think I kind of like that package appliance a little bit better versus, you know, you go through every little thing and trying to do options and upgrades. I like that package better. And you get that cost, right? So you already know what the cost is. Now, I want to take a look at this toilet because you talked about the compost. Is this that compost
here? So this one's technically a dry flush toilet.
Okay, what does that mean?
So basically, let me see if it's got it in it. Yeah. So it has, it basically has these foil bags that each time you use it, you flush it and it twists. Okay. So that might be, it's a long bag that you could probably get, say, 15 uses out of it. But it's...
Wait. What do you mean 15 uses out of it? So, I go number 2.
15 times.
15 times? That's how it works?
I'd say something along those lines. You're right.
Got it.
You press it, it'll twist, and then, you'd be in good shape.
Okay, cool. And this here is the shower, which is actually a pretty decent size, actually.
Yeah, it's a 4 by about 2.5 foot shower. We did some metal siding for this, but you can do different options. And then a simple little pocket door too, just open and close.
Love how you utilize that space versus a swinging door, obviously. Now, what typically goes here, like a little glass sliding door, or is it like a curtain rod?
So you have 2 options. You can go glass slider or curtain rod.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me show you guys this. This is pretty cool. I'll have to shout out my cousin.
Okay.
So he used to work with me, and he since has become a firefighter. He loves working out, and so he launched his own gym container company called Furyko.
Oh, nice.
And this is one of his projects right here. So he probably needs to keep it a little bit exclusive, but I'll let you guys get a quick peek so you can kind of get an idea of it. So basically, it's going to be a mobile gym for stunt devils in Hollywood.
Ooh,
so Jason Momoa will be training in it, some other guys, so that'll be pretty cool. But he has his outdoor platform back here where you can work out. Okay. And then as you take a peek inside, you'll see here as well, it's completely built out. So it's got all the gym equipment in here. So a little bit of everything you need.
And I like how you have this roll-up walls.
Yeah, so that'll roll right up. He'll install some lighting as well in here, and then, just for on-site training.
This feels very sturdy.
Yeah.
So it just seems like everything is just pretty much made with iron, steel. Everything's all welding.
A lot of welding. Yeah, a lot of fabrication.
Okay. So let me ask you this: how do you compete against every other company that's out there? I mean, there's so many different variables, right, with styles and what really sets you apart from these other tiny homes?
Yeah.
Is it just the container theme, or?
I'd say that's probably the single biggest thing that's a differentiator for us.
Yeah.
And I'd say with the container theme comes just that durability and longevity that a lot of other homes could potentially look cool. Maybe they're even more affordable.
Yeah.
But in terms of something that you can pass on to your kids and then your kids' kids can have it, the container is just going to last very long, which is cool.
Like that. So these are the sheds, huh?
Yeah, so these are different types of backyard sheds that we worked with this company to develop. Some of them are designed to be a little bit more storage. So like this one you'll see here is definitely more of a storage style, and then I'll show you one that is more like an office. So this is built out with, so here's the spray foam insulation.
Oh, that's good
to see. So really lightweight, but really good insulator. I mean, you can feel it's already way cooler being inside. And then this will just get finished out with some OSB and be basically kind of open to whatever someone want to use it for.
Okay. How much does something like one of these cost?
You know what, they do vary. So something that's more like this, where it's more of a basic build out, probably around $8,500 or so.
Okay, that's not that bad.
And then these ones right here, we started to build out more as office spaces. So you can see it's got some dust in it now. We got to clean it up here.
Yeah.
We just took it to a show. But in this one, we basically had a TV over here on this wall. It's got nice little pendant lights. And then we had this set up as more of like basically like a study space, little home back.
Yeah, this would actually be great for like a trade show. Like if a company had like their little mini office, they would just move this. This is actually kind of a good idea. Yeah. Matter of fact, Georg, you can even live in here. I'll charge you $600 a month.
That's a good deal right now. So that's just more finished out.
Yeah.
It's got the.
I can really feel how cool it is in here.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Big difference.
And then these next two are a little bit more finished out in terms of like interiors.
Okay.
So that they could be more of like a little.
So I feel like this one has like kind of like a little deck here.
Yeah, little 2-foot deck on this one. And then this one was, when we did the show, we set it up as like a little she shed.
Okay.
And so it could be just a little.
I mean, think about this. If you bought a piece of land, right? It was only like $50,000. You bought one of this. And this is something where you just have a bed, a grill, and you just have a porta potty outside, right?
Yeah.
You could literally just kind of do the nature thing.
Cool, yeah.
No, I think this is kind of cool, actually.
You could also get a container, keep your ATVs in there, and you got a cool little getaway.
No, I think this is great, actually.
Yeah.
Then we have a more modern one, same thing.
Yeah, that one was kind of similar, built out, and then we were trying to make it more of a, we called it like kind of like a little man shed, basically a little workshop style.
Oh, this gives you that little modern finish.
Yeah, a little bit of a different style in here.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys have this window here. It really brings in a lot of light.
Yeah, need some light in this for sure. So.
This your tractor too?
I wish. I know, right? I think it's pretty sweet. The gas on that's probably not so good, but.
So I notice pricings are subject to change, correct?
Yeah, things moving around.
Because materials and supplies. Now, if somebody is actually interested and they want to get a hold of you, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, the best way is probably just through our website. So just alternativelivingspaces.com, and you'll see some options on there for contact information. Okay. One thing we're starting to do that's cool that I didn't mention is we just launched basically a course that teaches people how to build their own container home.
Oh,
that's been really cool. And so we have a free training on our website as well. It's just like a free DIY training. If you're looking to build your own, it's a good place to start and just kind of get some initial tools.
And how long does the product take from start to finish?
We're looking at about, our build time is probably 8 weeks. But in terms of we currently are probably 4 weeks out. So about 12 to 15 weeks, I'd say.
Now, is there something that you want to cover that we actually probably missed or anything?
That's a good question. I think it was pretty thorough. Yeah, I feel like we hit a lot of the major things.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, hey, I just want to say I really do appreciate
Oh man, thank you for coming
taking
by.
the opportunity
My pleasure.
and showing us all what's going on. Guys, I'm going to have the link in the description below, so if you guys are actually interested, like I said, link in the description, also in the comments. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Any final words?
Thank you guys for tuning in, and thanks for the opportunity.
All right, peace.